Paige Davis at the opening night of A Time to Kill, and you are watching TheaterMania.com.
Opening nights are party time, right? On my first Broadway show, which was 20 years ago, nobody told me that there were no critics on opening night. Now I know that. So opening night is the night of relief. Wonderful people who know how hard it is to make a play are in the audience and just giving you their full support. So I love opening nights.
It's a courtroom drama, and because we make the audience the jury, it's almost as if they have no choice but to respond, and they're free to respond. Of course, this is not as if it was in a real court, but the audience becomes the jury, and I think they want to participate in the playing of the play, and they get into it.
In the audience, it's like they're at a football game. They're yelling and they're booing and they're standing up, and there was this guy one night. Every scene, at least twice, he would go, "Ha, nice," and when the show was over, he stood up. He was in like the third row. He stood up and he just put his arms up in the air and he goes, "That was really good."
It's quite thrilling, actually, to see the audience as engaged and as enthused and as entertained as they are, but it all goes back to the story. John Grisham wrote these wonderful, authentic characters set in a very charged and theatrical story.
When I was writing A Time to Kill, 1984, 85, 86, I wasn't sure I was going to finish writing the book because I'd never written before. And so my dreams back then were so modest, I couldn't imagine publication, bestsellers, movies, stuff like that. It was not in my capacity to dream that way back then. Rupert Holmes floated the idea of adapting it to stage, and I thought, well, okay. And I read his first version of the play about 3 years ago, and I said, this really works. I mean, he gets it all on one stage, From that point on, I said, have some fun with it. If you need me, send me some notes or give me a phone call, whatever. I'll be happy to help, but I'm not doing this, it's all you.
From the very first time that Rupert and I sat down together, I said the challenge of a courtroom drama is always going to be that a courtroom can be very static on stage, so how do you make it mobile? And one of the things he had embedded in his script was the idea that at some point we would think of ourselves as a jury. Because, it's a jury trial and there's no jury, so it's got to be us. And that was where we evolved with Jim Noon, the set designer, the idea of the turntable set that would let us really address the audience directly, and that's made all the difference.
This is the people's play. The audience wants this kind of resolution because I think people are always looking for miracles. We always need a miracle, and we get so few of them. So this play gives people that release that there's still good in the world, and there's still hope in the world, and there's still a chance for things to turn out right.